I expect all of you watching this video by now have either witnessed a pro-Palestine protest somewhere or at least watched their footage of it on TV or on social media. Very surprised if you haven't. But while the pro-Palestine protesters have been protesting in all major European cities, calling for an unconditional ceasefire by Israel, there have also been protests by the Palestinians in Gaza. Except that in Gaza, the Palestinians are calling for Hamas to release the Israeli hostages so there can be a ceasefire and they're able to go back to where they lived. In this video, they're chanting against Hamas and they're calling for Hamas to release the Israeli hostages so there can be a ceasefire. And they're naming their towns, saying they want to go back to these towns where they lived before. And it makes me wonder about all these pro-Palestinian protesters in the West. How come they've never called for Hamas to release the Israeli hostages, the women and the kids that Hamas kidnapped on October the 7th? I mean, surely ceasefire must be a two-way thing. Israel can only cease fire in return for something. And Hamas is not promising peace. In fact, they're calling to continue the so-called struggle until they wipe out Israel. And they're not offering to release the hostages either. So why should Israel cease fire? And on another note, here is a Hamas spokesman who now admits killing and kidnapping civilians was wrong and saying they should have only attacked military targets.
يعني نحن لا نخجل ان نقول انه بيصير بعض الاخطاء الموجوده وهذا شيء طبيعي بيصير في كل الدول. لذلك نحن نمتلك الجرأه والشجاعه انه بعض الامور كان فيها بعض، يعني مثلا نحن لم نكن نوجه عملنا ضد المدنيين، ولم يكن هدفنا قتل المدنيين ولا هدفنا اختطاف المدنيين بالاساس. كان هدفنا الاساسي كما قلت.
But how many pro-Palestine protesters have you come across who condemn the killing and kidnapping of civilians by Hamas? Instead, they're always trying to justify the most hideous crimes that Hamas carried out against the civilians on October the 7th. Some of them even rip out the posters of the missing Israeli hostages. Isn't it bizarre that here in the West, they protest for Hamas with the protection of the police, but in Gaza, the Palestinians risk their lives and protest against Hamas? I kept referring in this video to these protesters in the West as pro-Palestinian. Maybe I shouldn't have done, because it makes you wonder, are they really pro-Palestinian when they support Hamas? You cannot support Hamas and pretend you want the well-being of the Palestinian people. That is a contradiction in terms. And that's the point that I'm trying to make in this video. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave me your feedback in the comments or give me the thumbs up.